The two of them are talking up there.
I think we talk about rugby league being a community sport, right?
Yeah.
And you've got two owners there who come from the community, two ex-Wigan halfbacks there as well, coaching teams at Wembley.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's my point, actually, because we talk a lot about it being a community sport and we can get wrapped up in being us. If you've turned the telly on and watched that this afternoon, and you're seeing a last-minute golden point win by a superstar there, Lachlan, who's then gone and got the Landstow Trophy, and then it's his dad who's the coach. He's proud of your players. Can you imagine how proud he is of his son? And then you've got the owner running around in a leopard skin suit talking about feathers and serendipity. You're like, what on earth is this? This is unbelievable. Unbelievable scenes. Great game, great spectacle.
The class that is on display at the moment. So many sports could learn from this.
Yeah, no, without doubt.
I mean, Hull KR are an absolute credit this afternoon.
What Hull KR have delivered on the biggest stage. Classy performance from them, classy interactions from their coaches and all of their players, which are taking a really crushing defeat incredibly well. Well, this is about Leigh, it's about the Leopards, and it's about the story that's been building all year, which is truly incredible. You know, in 2016, we talked about Leicester City and what they did in the Premiership. Well, this is equally as impressive in so many ways.
I think the fireworks are going to go off, or the ticker tape is going to go off. And they celebrate again in front of the sponsors board. And they're down away to our right. And that whole Leigh end has stayed understandably to celebrate. And wherever you look, there is leopard skin in this stadium at the moment. I tell you, if you are a leopard print manufacturer, and get yourself to Leigh over the next few days.
Yeah, there's going to be some money to be made in Leigh. I mean, I think, look, Leigh were excellent today. They were outstanding in that second half. In the first half, they were great. They were outstanding in the second half. Super consistent and delivered in the biggest game.
Look, you make a really good point to bring up Neil Hudgell, because look, Derek is a very visible owner, and this leopard almost mania what we're going through is amazing, but there's lots of other people. Eamon McManus we've seen in the stand, we've got Simon Moran, we've got, you know, so many other owners who actually do go about the business and keep sport afloat. We can't underestimate how much private individuals contribute to sport. Look, Derek's getting all the headlines today, but there's so many great owners who have kept this bankrolled this sport for a long time.
I agree, and I owe a lot of who and what I am, John, to those people with the absolute reverence that I held for them. Eamon McManus there on camera. Yeah. But for me, Derek's blown it out of stratosphere. It's exponentially evolved, and I think we're in, and we're all laughing and joking, but in week one, the fireworks that went off at Leigh Sports Village were unbelievable. He's put a show on for everybody all year. It's been exceptional.
Yeah, one of my favourite moments from Derek is I had a good chance to chat with him, and he was talking through the cost of putting pre-match entertainment on. It's part of the story is how they build games pre-match, and he was saying, scouting for girls, 12 grand to get them on. And then I said, well, how much was the Elvis? 400 quid. 400 quid. No, but that's a man looking for a deal. Yeah. And he's always looking for value.
And he was followed by Bobby Williams as well. Just to put it into a bit of context there, some tribute
I'm sure Scouting for Girls are delighted you've just announced their fee for a gig on the telly.
It was in the Independent, how much it charged. There was a list of all bands, other bands are available now.
And let's get some Hull KR reaction there, Captain Sean Kenny Dowell with Damien.
You deserved something out of it, didn't you? Because there's so much grit and determination, particularly about your defensive effort.
Yeah, I thought we fought really hard in the second half to work our way back into the game and get ourselves into a position, but you know, I just thought we didn't do well enough in Golden Point, and you know, credit to Leigh, they did, and you know, congratulations to Lammy coming up with a big drop goal in the end, and yeah, we're really disappointed.
In your heart of hearts, when you got that late try to equalise the scores, did you feel maybe it's going to be our day?
It's anyone's game, you know. Goes to Golden Point. We just didn't play that period of time good enough, and you know, we'll go back to the drawing board, and some of these guys will learn some lessons, and hopefully we can learn from that and you know, keep going forward.
There's an irony in this, isn't there? Because you won the semi-final with Golden Point. Today you're on the receiving end.
Yeah, like I said, we'll take the lessons. Obviously, some really disappointed boys in there. We'll pick ourselves back up and we'll go again to the season.
Thanks for talking to us. Well done.
Thank you very much.
I genuinely don't know how you are that composed after a defeat like that.
I think that's his style. He's a relaxed player, and I just thought he was heroic in that defeat, and I think he epitomises what OKR are about. It's going to be sad to see him retire next year, and there'll be a lot of people there thinking, you know what, just tweak a couple of things and we win those games. I think they've shown enough, OKR, in terms of character, that we'll see them back in these big games again, and they'll learn from today, and they'll learn and give themselves a chance of winning.
Yeah, just on Sean Kenny-Dowell, that's one of the most exceptional performances I've seen from a player on a losing team. He was by far and away for me the best ball carrier on the field. Him and Ryan Hall, their combination was breathtakingly good. The defence was incredible, but it wasn't good enough, was it?
These are awful, these moments, aren't they? We've all been there, and you're just thinking about what could have been, what could have happened, and you've been so close. It's not like they were absolutely obliterated, they were just so close.
Try doing that 5 years on the run at Old Trafford, JP, thanks. Cheers, pal.
Yeah,
cheers, buddy.
We did it 3 years on Trotty as well, 2011, 12 nightmare.
But also, Jamie, I mean, he talks about Old Trafford and he talks about a grand final. You know, they're sixth in Super League, right? So their playoff chances are still very much alive, obviously. So that has to be Willie Peters' job now to, I don't know how you do that, but to go, we've got to go again because we're not out of the running for another trophy.
If you could box it up and tell us all how to do it, you'd make a lot of money. You've absolutely nailed it. That's his job right now, because that will last beyond Tuesday. He's going to pull them boys round and make them believe that if they sort some of those little bits out, the other unforced errors that they coughed up today, they've got the quality to compete. But these guys here, what about these? They don't want to take today's win out of the way, but put your tin hats on and hold on to them, because these are third in Super League, and there's no ceiling to where these could go.
No, you know what this week made me realise? I had the privilege of going to OKR, and it made me realise that although it means an awful lot to players and to coaches, games like this mean an infinite amount to a number of people who you wouldn't expect. Sue and Bonesy, who are the backroom staff at OKR, in tears at the prospects of their side. And the same for Leigh. So many people sharing this joy, not just the players and the coaching staff. It's an incredible moment for Leigh as a club, and an incredibly difficult moment for OKR.
The thing with Leigh and OKR, I think now, have they got the ability to do this regular? That's the next question you want to ask, and you think, look at the people we just mentioned there, the backroom staff. They've got a chance of doing it, disrupting the status quo. That's what I want to see. I've seen it at the Challenge Cup, we've seen it in Super League.
Let's have a look at he's still there, right in the centre of it, arm round his dad. Let's look, John, at Lachlan Lamb's winning drop goal.
Well, as Adrian Lamb said in the post-match interviews, they've been working on that setup. Look, teams go for Gareth O'Brien because he's a clutch player in those situations. Lachlan Lamb's not there by accident. O'Brien finds him. Look, it's ugly, it goes over. That's the game. Wow.
It was like one of them footballs you buy from a petrol station, wasn't it? It just went all over and floated everywhere.
Are you buying footballs from a petrol station for?
Yeah, the old ones. But look, these are the signs. It doesn't matter how it goes over. You talked about it being, again, John, a lesson for life. Being resilient, coming up with a moment and getting your name written on the trophy.
Let's get more reaction from the Leopards camp. Another try at Wembley for Tom Briscoe. He's with Robbie.
Tom, this is the fourth time you've walked up those steps. You get bored of it?
Never. Every time, the same feeling. This is special, you know, a new team, a great bunch of players, a club that have newly promoted. You know, the stories and the journey goes on for this team from last year, what they did there, to getting promoted, winning everything they could there, and this is the first thing we could have won this season, and we've gone and done it. You know, the story's unbelievable.
Now, it might be a little bit of a special accolade, but Dave Woods was saying during the game, the try that you scored makes you the biggest try scored, or the most tries ever scored in Challenge Cup finals with 8. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, that's special, but, you know, I'd give them all to just have a win. But yeah, that comes along and that's nice. But that's one for after I retire, I think, and I look back and that's something there.
Now, what does it mean to this group of players? It's been a lot of your backs against the wall. You're the newly, promoted team. What's it mean to these boys to come to the final?
Oh, it's everything. We've got a lot of experience, and the squad that Derek, Chris Chester, Adrian's put together is incredible. The work they've put in to bring us together as a team, it's showing the way we're winning games, the way we play in rugby. It's exciting. I wish it wasn't as exciting as that coming down to the last golden point, but it's a win and it's in the record books and it's another medal.
Brilliant. Go and enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers, guys.
Jamie, we talked, didn't we, pre-match about the experience that Leigh had brought in with Briscoe and Charnley and Hardacre.
Yeah, you saw that, and I thought with holding the nerve, and this is his great try. Ryan all a bit gutted about this coming in, but Tom Briscoe does what he does best, nice and composed, and again, great ball from Lachlan Lab, 4 players onto 1.
Yeah, and it came off the back of obviously a mistake from Hull KR. It was Mikey Lewis who made the error. Mikey Lewis had an incredible game for Hull KR, really top notch, but it was a great finish from Briscoe, and he just hurdled the steward very nicely. What a try, some experience in that. And talking of, I suppose, experience, Mark, experience in the Challenge Cup.
And as John was finishing there, father and son have arrived. Are you okay?
No, I nearly got choked out when the kick went over, and I couldn't breathe for about 30 seconds, but lost the voice now. But yeah, amazing.
Like genuinely, I can't imagine all the emotions that are going through you as both a head coach and a dad. I mean, what a remarkable afternoon for you.
Well, Lockie's won a couple of really big men of the matches in the last 3 or 4 years, and we had a chat before the game saying, if it's there, it's yours to get. And just the emotion of being in front with a minute to go and then the try being allowed there and then into extra time. And I just remember us going to Gaz O'Brien to take the field goal and then threw it back to Lachlan. I thought, oh no, he's going to win us the game here, and it just all happened really quickly. So still a little bit confused how it ended.
What did you say to your players then at the end of 80 minutes, given the dramatic ending?
No, I just said this is where we wanted to be. We talked about being in this position, and it was an opportunity for us to grab forever. I said, just die, don't die wondering, just go and get it.
How are you?
I'm okay, mate. Not too bad.
Do you realise what you put him through?
Wasn't too stressful, was it? Yeah, I just spoke before and I said it's heartbreaking that last minute try, and it's happened a few times. In your career and him coaching me as well as juniors, it's happened throughout our career, and I just thought for a second, here we go again, but got lucky.
We heard that you'd practiced that the last couple of weeks, that move for the drop goal. How much do you rely, I don't know whether you'd be able to answer that, how much do you rely on muscle memory in that moment? How much is it all automatic?
It is. I had a lot of time as well. I had time to have a breath and then strike it, didn't hit it the way I wanted to, but there's no pictures on the scorecard, is there? So it's worth 1 point in the end.
Jamie asked your dad pre-match whether you listen to him all the time, because as fathers of sons were well aware it's difficult to get them to listen all the time. So you listened to him really with that play, didn't you?
Yeah, I do. A lot of the stuff he says goes in out the other ear, but all the important stuff, mate, I do take in, and that was. I gave Gaz a rap as well, because he's flushed a few of them at training, and for him to trust me to kick that goal is it's special there.
Can I ask whose job it is tonight to keep a lid on Derek Beaumont and make sure he behaves?
Shotgun night.
No, he'll be fine, Derek. I think anyone deserves this as much as he does. He's been awesome for us, and I'm just grateful for him to experience this, and all of our fans in particular. But I'm sure Derek will be good tonight.
Just thinking about the performance there, Adrian, you'll obviously be really proud there. I can't imagine. We spoke, didn't we, a few weeks ago about my own father-son relationship, but who else stood out for you this afternoon in terms of getting those points over the board?
It was a really weird game. We didn't really settle throughout the whole thing, and there was a lot of times where it wasn't us, and so I just thought I knew it was going to go down to the very wire when it happens like that. But I thought, players like Zach Hardacre were really good, Tom Briscoe, all the boys that had been here and done that before. Apart from that, it was just a solid performance from everyone, and I think because they're a close bunch of boys in those tight moments, Hull KR have prepared for that moment better than anyone in the last 6 weeks. They've had 3 or 4 of them, so that made me nervous when we went into extra time, but we've got the reps in, we knew what we were doing, and luckily we got it done.
Yeah, just a word on Hull KR then, because they really brought it today, didn't they?
Yeah.
They competed so hard. That contributed to what was an incredible final, didn't it?
Yeah, we knew that, and that's what great teams do in those big moments, and anyone can win in those finals, but, I think it's one of those moments for rugby league in this country where we can all look back and go, I lost a grand final as coach in extra time from a kick that hit the post. And, you know, this one, I no doubt people will talk about this now for years to come. So I'm just grateful for the club, all of our fans. It's, you know, the trophy's coming home, guys, to Leigh. So Challenge Cup's back home now.
And do you sense this is just the start?
Yeah, I think throughout all my media, all I've touched on is that, you know, we've got such a good mateship as a team and as a club, and we're working hard for each other, mate. And, you know, I've said it a lot of times, but, you know, good things do come from, you know, hard work. So
will the trophy go back in the Lamborghini or on the bus? That's my question. Is Derek going to have it in the Lambo, or is it going back on the bus?
He might take me around in it. I hope he does. let me have a whip around in it.
For a week. You can have it for a week.
I mean, that has been a Challenge Cup final for the ages. So thank you for everything that you've done. The sportsmanship was unbelievable at the end between head coaches and chief execs and owners. I'm going to say goodbye, but just stay there looking as happy as you are, because you have provided great entertainment for us. So thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Thank you to you three as well. We've had some special finals over the years. That is one of the very best. And thanks to a father and son, the big cat is rising in Leigh. What a season. Bye-bye.